Hi, I'm Arndell. I'm here today to show you how to make wonderful French macarons. So the first step to making lovely macarons is that we need to put our almond meal and our icing sugar through a food processor. Now the reason that we do that is because almond meal is kind of a wee bit lumpy, and if we put it through the food processor, then it gets it nice and smooth for us. This might take 10 seconds or it might take 30, so we'll just give it a bit of a zap. A lovely powdery fine combination of your almonds and your icing sugar. The next step to make sure we've really got rid of all those little wee lumps and bumps is to put your icing sugar and almond meal mix through a sieve. Now you'll find that at the bottom you will more than likely have a few wee little lumps like that. Just discard what's left. Don't be tempted to push it through your sieve because that's when you'll end up with grainy macarons. Now, egg whites when you're baking, and especially for something like macarons, need to be size 7, which is 62 grams. If you don't have access to size 7 eggs, then you can use slightly larger ones rather than slightly smaller ones. If you're going to only use smaller eggs, you're going to need to try and weigh your egg whites so that you've got exactly 35 mils per egg white in your recipe. So let's beat these to a nice stiff peak. So what you're looking for is a nice sort of medium to stiff peak, so it should have a wee bit of a curl over the top. Once your egg whites are at a lovely stiff peak, it's at this point that you can colour and flavour the egg whites. Now I'm going to make lemon macarons today, so I'm going to put the zest of a lemon in, and I'm just finely grating that using a microplaner. Liquid food colouring from the supermarket will affect the texture of the egg whites too much, so you need to use gel food colouring. You can buy it in various different brands, and you can get it from any cake decorating shop or good food store, or from places like Spotlight. So a little wee bit of colour is all that you need. Okay. The next step of your macaron making is the most important part. You need to fold your dry ingredients into your egg whites, and you need to do it a certain way. Put about 1/3 of your almond and icing sugar mix in, and using a cutting and folding motion, carefully work it into your egg whites. But not completely, add another 1/3. Now a silicone spatula is my favourite tool to do this with. They pick up all the little bits on the side, and it helps with the folding and the turning really well. Add your final 1/3. At this point, all my almonds are folded in, and it's a plopping consistency. So it's going to plop off my spatula. It's too thick. So you need to keep turning it and keep mixing it, and as you turn it and mix it, it will loosen up. And almost there. It's still not coming off in a smooth stream, it's still kind of coming off in lumps and bumps. Here we go, we've got a lovely ribbon happening as it comes off. So, next we fill up a piping bag. So just use your spatula to carefully transfer your mix into your piping bag. Good oven tray and a piece of baking paper to pipe your macarons onto. You want to take about the bottom sort of centimetre off the bag, about the size of the end of a pencil. The best way to get your baking paper to stay on your tray is a wee dash of batter in each corner, and it will stick nicely and stay put. I like to do them freehand because I'm a home baker and everything's a bit more rustic that way. Position your piping bag about 1 centimetre above the surface and squeeze, and as you squeeze, bury the tip in the batter, and you'll end up with a lovely round shape without having to use a template. These ones are about sort of 4 centimetres across, which makes them 2 bites. You can make them smaller or larger. If you want, you just need to adjust your cooking time accordingly. Now the next step is to give them a good bang on the bench. And this knocks any air bubbles out of them and helps level the tops off as well. Now at this stage you need to leave them to sit at room temperature for half an hour to 45 minutes. This is really, really important because if you don't let them sit, then you won't get that lovely frilly little foot that denotes a good macaron. You'll know that they're ready to go in the oven when you can touch them with your finger very gently and you come away without any batter on your fingers. So we'll just put these aside and we'll come back to them shortly. They're lovely and shiny and they've got a lovely skin on them. So they're going to go in the oven at 150 for about 10 minutes. Thanks very much for joining me. My book, Alice in Bakingland, Delicious, Decadent and Daring, is full of wonderful hints and tips and beautiful recipes. You can buy it from all good bookstores. Or you can have a look online at my blog, www.aliceandbakingland.com. I hope to see you again soon.